Well, I am in my apartment right now, joined by Doublelift for yet another interview on this couch, and you are looking a little different than last time I saw you.
Yes, indeed. I did get a haircut.
Yeah.
Still a bowl cut, but a little shorter.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you clean up a bit because, I mean, sometimes you just get a little shaggy. No, the last time I interviewed you, we were in Wuhan, China. Things were looking great. People were like, TSM can make semis. The crowd was cheering for you. And then disaster struck. And now I'm sitting next to you and you're wearing a Team Liquid jersey. So could you maybe, I know you did a little bit of this conversation in the Team Liquid announcement video, or that's what I hear. I wasn't there for the filming of it. But you want to talk to me a little bit about like what everything that happened since that last interview to this one?
Yeah, everything crashed and burned pretty hard. And then we were all really depressed for like 2 weeks. I think that was probably the most pure silence I've ever been a part of. For 10 minutes after the match, we sat in our ready room and no one made a sound. It was just, I guess someone was crying. I think a couple of us were crying, so you could hear that, but it was just pure silence otherwise. Really like a striking moment, I guess. But I really felt like maybe we were going to introduce a new jungler and run like a 6 or 7 man roster, but I didn't expect any massive roster changes. Now TSM is just 2 out of the 5, so it's a pretty jarring change. I think NLCS is a lot different now, and maybe it's for the better because at Worlds NA always seems to disappoint really hard. We need more competitive teams, and Immortals made Worlds that year, but they also shit the bed pretty hard too. So I think being on Team Liquid, taking good parts of a lot of good things that were working, it was a really good choice to get this roster together, and I want to be a part of it too. So when all this news hit and I had to make a decision on the team that I would play on, it was just obvious to me that Team Liquid was the right one.
I mean, it is very strange, I think, for a lot of fans who are watching this because last year, and no offense to the jersey you're wearing, but I think Team Liquid became kind of a joke for a lot of people with the performance that they had and sort of the constant like trying to bring people in you had to show up and save them at one point in time. And so for you to go from the best team that we saw last year to Team Liquid, I'm sure that'll be surprising to some people. What has changed with this organization that has given you so much faith in them?
All right, yeah. So I already had a chance to talk about this a little bit, but I did a pretty bad job. I think for me, the reason why Team Liquid is criticized a lot and becomes a joke is because they put a lot of money into their team with bad results. They're consistently at the bottom of the league in the last 2 years, and they're always, facing relegation even though they do crazy roster changes. And there's all these memes about like Golden Glue and stuff, how he's like Golden God or he's just boosted. Like it feels like Team Liquid is just kind of a spectacle, but not like a team that you can that you could previously really get behind and be like, yeah, this team is good, and I want to support them because they're good and what they're doing is, they're focused on winning. So now I think this is a very good allocation of the resources. They're taking a lot of players that have a track record of success, and I mean, like even just looking at me, Smithy, and Pobelter, we were the first iteration of CLG to win anything, and CLG is one of the the OG teams that everyone cheers for, and that was season 5, 3/5 of season 5 CLG, and I've won 3 out of the last 4 splits that I participated in. The one split I didn't win, I got second place. So I feel like not only does this team have like a very good track record of players that make worlds, players that win NA, but the roster itself just makes a lot of sense. You have a lot of raw skill mechanically, but you also have like the leadership and strategy behind that. Like it's not just a bunch of brain dead players who are really good at hitting skill shots and dodging stuff. Like it is actually really good all around players with good attitudes. So anyways, overall, I think this Team Liquid is a lot different than any past iterations of Team Liquid. It's going to be hard to get the fans to like understand that, because Team Liquid was a joke for 2 years is a long time in esports. So I'm just going to do everything I can to change that, I guess. The first thing is just winning. Yeah. No one can meme a winner. I mean, TSM. But anyways, in NA at least.
Yeah.
If you win, the fans love you.
Yeah.
If you lose, the fans shit on you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys win for your sake then. Now, obviously the players are here, but was there anything attractive about any of the newer teams? Because again, like, while maybe Team Liquid has the roster, a lot of people are going to say like, oh, he could have gone and done stuff with the Warriors team or the Cavs team or whoever, become part of the Green Wall. I guess I'm still trying to figure out.
Green Wall.
I've been trying to figure that out too. It's what Optic calls their fans the Green Wall, I think, or something along those lines.
Okay, that's pretty troll, but it's kind of cool too.
Is that our producer? Okay, he's shaking his head. He doesn't know either. So,
All right. Well, so why did I choose Team Liquid? My answer is going to be consistent throughout all interviews. It's honestly, if I cared about the money, I would just turn to streaming, and I was a really successful streamer, and I liked it a decent amount. Really, I would not be happy on a team that is shit and would reflect badly on me personally. Like, I've been the best AD carry in NA for a really long time, 5-6 years, something like that. It's important to me that I keep that legacy going, and part of that is just being on a winning team. So why did I choose Team Liquid? Because I think this team is easily capable of winning NA and capable of doing things at Worlds that other NA teams have never done, like make it out of groups past the quarters, possibly into the top 4. Winning Worlds, that's a pipe dream that I want to, I always think about, but it's first step is for me making it out of groups and maybe winning that quarterfinals match. But yeah, it's really just about the fact that this roster is pretty sick, and I'm really excited to see what I can do.
anything about the organization, or is it really just the roster for you?
Oh, right. Like, other than the roster, sorry. Didn't mean to downplay the org, but
You're like, it's really just the roster. If any team had this roster, that's where I would be. Team Liquid, they got it, so they get me,
yeah, no, I think, on top of that, the resources that Team Liquid gives to the players, it's huge. It's become like a joke too, because they give so many resources, but
whatever. I'm trying to understand when you say resources, is that code for dollars?
It's code for
like
dollars,
they
and
give
also
so many dollars,
the services that they give, the crazy facility, like all of the day-to-day, like they have a live-in cook, things like that other teams don't provide, especially the ridiculously good-looking facility. I think, these are things that make your day-to-day life a lot easier and a little bit more professional. So, yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, I think the new teams, they're coming in with a lot of inexperience, and they're trying to hire the right people, but I don't want to be there when, like, a new team tries to get their shit together, has, like, a pretty shoddy roster that was, like, made on a budget and doesn't really know how to make a successful team. Like, I want to go into a team where I know, like, everything's already set in place. I can go in, I can help create the culture, hard work, like, you can be the best player in the world, but if you don't work hard, you're gonna lose. And I can come in and make a big impact because a lot of those basic things are already set in.
Yeah. And then we'll move on from this in a second. But the last question I kind of have in terms of why Team Liquid was why not CLG? Because you definitely memed a lot about CLG on Twitter, and I'm sure there are a lot of CLG fans that are like, "Oh, he's coming back."
I don't want to play with Omar God. He's pretty bad. And
I mean, does that confirm that he's going to be on their team?
I don't know. Honestly, it's been only 2 years since I've been on CLG. Maybe 2 years is long enough, but I didn't even really consider it, to be honest. I think CLG is in a good place for what their goals are. I think 6A is pretty good. I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going to replace this kid. Like, he's pretty good. He's had good years, he's had bad years, but why not CLG? Dude, I don't know. The Rush Hour meme is real, but I don't know if me and Afro together would. If you look back then, we were so far ahead of every other bot lane. If we played right now at that same skill level that we were at previously, it would not be so easy.
Okay. All right. So far we've got. The air conditioning just turned. It's getting cool in here. So far we've got you saying what's liquid cool. So far we've got you saying what's the green wall. So you've pissed off the Optic fans. Then you said you kind of dissed CLG just now. So let's talk about TSM. So you have now been rejected from TSM essentially. Any hard feelings there?
Yeah, honestly, a little. I'm I was I was not really expecting to get replaced, so it feels shitty, like being rejected like that for pretty much anything. If it's like a relationship, a job, like I don't know, like a Tinder swipe or something, like everything just feels bad when you get rejected. Are there hard feelings? I will always respect Andy the most out of any of my past owners. I mean, I've only had like three: Epic Gamer, CLG, and TSM.
You were on Team Liquid for about 4 weeks.
Okay, well, yeah. What, I was on Team Liquid for 4 weeks. That didn't count. But I think Andy is an incredible person. He's honestly like, he puts this hard ass mentality on people, and he really does work his players hard, and he's tough on them. But he really, really cares about his players. Like, he went above and beyond what he needed to do for me, and I always respect him for that because it was pretty much a no benefit for him. He just is a great friend, and yeah, I love Andy. As for the rest of TSM, I'm planning on just destroying them this whole year. I hope Team Liquid can have a perfect record against TSM, shit on them in the finals if they make it there. I want to absolutely demolish TSM's legacy and make sure that they regret that decision.
Well, that's bold. Okay, so it sounds like I was going to ask you, is it going to be more of a Team Liquid CLG rivalry? Because now there's 3 players on Team Liquid that were all removed from CLG. Or is it going to be more of a Team Liquid TSM rivalry because you just have a burning hate and passion for that team? But it sounds like the TSM thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a part of TSM anymore, so what is there other than to see them as a competitor? I love Andy, but I'm planning on beating TSM every chance I get. And last time I was on Team Liquid, I made that happen for those in that 1 week we played them. Last time I was on CLG with 3/5 of this roster, we 3-0'd them in the finals in like a huge upset. It's one of like the highest voted Reddit threads on r League of Legends of all time. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think I love beating TSM when I'm not on TSM. I just love winning, and I think TSM is the most formidable opponent this year and every year. So, yeah, just got to get to work.
Any other formidable opponents based on, obviously, there's rumors flying all over the place, but is there anything that's kind of scary to you?
Literally just TSM and C9. All the other teams, like I said, are going to be pretty bad.
So it's literally just down to those guys.
Yeah, I guess don't have too much faith in CLG. And the
That was
other
a meme.
teams. Yeah, the other teams. Who knows, man? Like this last split, for example, Dignitas and Envy seemed pretty strong. I mean, Envy had really bad placement, but they seemed pretty good towards the end. Yeah. Dignitas ended up being a really strong contender for playoffs.
Those teams are gone.
Yeah. I'm saying this year teams that weren't expected to do well ended up doing really well. And who knows what'll happen this year? Maybe one of the new teams will sign a roster that makes a lot of sense with like strong Korean talent or imported talent, but any team that is really invested in domestic talent is not going to probably do very well the first year. I think there's just not enough good NA players. And if you're, watching my stream, you can see that there's not a lot of good players out there in solo queue.
I mean, don't you think those people are kind of clowning around? It's not your stream. Maybe not. It's not representative of the skill set of North American players.
I don't know. I mean, I play Korean solo queue, and maybe it is a mentality thing, but no one really. There's not a lot of clowning around. Yeah. Like it feels almost like a scrim when I play Korean solo queue. So that's why it's much easier to import Korean talent that speaks okay English or is willing to learn than it is to. In the short term, it's easier to do that than to try to raise homegrown talent. But it's really hard for these new teams to make a lot of fans when they don't invest in their own region. They come in, they have these new Koreans no one's ever heard of or imported players. It's a huge hit to their popularity. So it's definitely a balance of like performance and popularity. I'm not super worried. I think NA historically has always had like 3, maybe 4 good teams max.
All right, very good. Is there anything that you're going to do before LCS starts? Anything planned with Team Liquid or anything?
No, actually, I don't think we have any plans in the off season. All 5 players on Team Liquid will have probably all 5 players will have done Worlds this year, so our off season is significantly shorter than most NA players, and I think as a result of that, Team Liquid is a little bit more lenient about the off season. You know, theirs ended in like I think their season might have ended in like after the promotion relegation in September, but you know ours was like a month and a half later. So we'll see how it goes, but I think we're generally like very stressed out from this year, all of us, and we want to come into the next year really hungry to succeed.
All right, so now is the chance for you to shout out to your fans or to talk to the fans. And I assume that Doublelift, there's going to be a lot of conflicted fans, right? Because you had fans on CLG who probably left you whenever you went to TSM because they hate TSM. You have fans that you gained on TSM or the TSM fans, and now here you are talking about how you want to send TSM into a brutal pit of agony and despair for the rest of eternity. And then you've got a couple Team Liquid fans that are like, can I stick my head out yet? So what is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah, I think kind of like what you said. When I was on CLG, I was a really, really large percentage of the player or of the fans on CLG, and then I moved to TSM, and TSM already had a crazy amount of fans. So I feel like I almost leveled up there in terms of just like the pool that I was a part of. But you know, Team Liquid doesn't have as many fans as TSM. They're TSM's most popular team, so I expect like a really big negative reaction kind of to me being on Team Liquid, and it's something that my fans I'm gonna try to work with them and make sure that you guys are happy and that the transition doesn't seem so weird. But yeah, it's rough, you know, like it's rough anytime a player moves teams because the fans feel really conflicted. They got attached to the team. I was on CLG for like 4 years, 5 years. I was on TSM for 2 years, and those things become like inextricably bound together. So, you know, I just hope there's no hard feelings between me and the TSM fans. I really want to win, and a part of that is destroying TSM. So I don't know how you guys are going to be able to deal with that, but I really appreciate all the fans that stuck with me through all my transitions and continue to stay with me. And yeah, that's a really big motivating factor for me.
Yeah. You mentioned you're going to work to make sure that your fans can like transition over or whatever to this and help them figure out how to manage this. You're going to give them like brochures that are like, so your favorite AD carry is joining Team Liquid. What next? I mean, what does that transition work look like?
Well, you know, a lot of the players on Team Liquid, their personalities don't really get showcased too much in the past. Like, a lot of them are quiet people, you know, like Piglet was really quiet. Matt was a little soft-spoken.
Piglet was quiet? I feel like I saw videos of him chasing Joka around with a knife.
Okay, yeah. No, yeah, so, like, that was probably what he was really like. No, but I'm just kidding. Even now, you know, like, and Pobelter, they've got a decent number of fans recently. I don't know. We'll see. I think this roster really just it is like a total rebirth of Team Liquid, and all the previous like negative comments and criticisms, they don't really hold any weight anymore because it's such a different roster. I just want my fans to support a team that gets along, is having fun, working hard, and I guess just like makes the fans happy, makes the fans proud.
Any final words?
No, that's about it. Just thanks to all my fans. Check out my YouTube. Check out Team Liquid's YouTube. We're going to be making a lot of content. And yeah, thanks for doing this interview.
Did you know, by the way, that I have a Patreon now?
Oh. Go away, Travis.
You can check out the rest of my coverage right here on my YouTube channel. You can sub to it. And you can also check out my Patreon support and everything down in the bottom because I'm unemployed. That's why we're shooting this in my apartment. And if you would like to see my interviews with Doublelift next year and not have me get acquired by some crazy team or something, please feel free to support me there. Thanks for the interview, Doublelift. Excited to see what the next... Nothing shocks me anymore, you know? Like, it just makes sense that this is what's happening too. You can check out the rest of my coverage right here on my YouTube channel.